Guys, so we are a few days into Mercury retrograde. How are you feeling? How is everything going? I wanted to check in and see how it's going and let you guys know just some information about this particular Mercury retrograde. So the important things for us to know with every Mercury retrograde, obviously, is that it's a time to go within and reflect and remember and anything that starts with RE, right? Reconnect, remember, reflect is a big one. So for any Mercury retrograde, but each Mercury retrograde has specific things that it's calling for us to go within and reflect on. And this particular Mercury retrograde started July 7th and it will go direct on July 31st. Sometimes Mercury will retrograde in one sign, sometimes it'll pass between two signs. And in this case, Mercury starts out retrograde in Leo, and then around July 19th, depending on where you are in the world, it moves into Cancer. And then goes direct on the 31st, again, depending on where you are in the world. Some places, like probably Australia, I think it might be like on August 1st. So either way, it's the same time. It's just, it's tomorrow there already for us. So this particular Mercury retrograde is calling for us to go within and reflect on that inner fire in our hearts, that inner fire and light that we have in our heart, and that desire that we have, that we desire to share. Like, what fire and light do we have in our hearts that we desire to share with others? So this is a time to be reflecting on that. And what within us do we desire to have recognized? And it's a time for us to also reflect on that and to recognize that within ourselves. So here's the thing, when we want to be recognized about something, that's not always a comfortable feeling, right? Like, we may be wanting something to be recognized about us because it's not. And so one of the questions to ask yourself is, where in my life am I craving recognition? And start with recognizing that within yourself. Now, sometimes when we're craving recognition in a certain area, we may unconsciously be acting out in a way to try and get that recognition. So another question to ask yourself is, where in my life am I acting out in an attempt to try and receive or obtain recognition in a certain area? Because acting out is not always the most effective way to be recognized, and we may be recognized in a way that we weren't initially intending to be recognized, or it masks or covers up that light within us that it was that we initially wanted to be recognized. And so instead, our frustration can sometimes be recognized, or our behavior that is acting out is what gets recognized instead. So again, reflecting on what it truly is within our hearts that we desire to have recognized, and reconnecting with that and reflecting on that and recognizing it within ourselves is what this Mercury retrograde is calling for us to reflect on during Leo. So as it moves into Cancer, well, first, again, before it moves into Cancer, again, part of this also is reflecting on our own inner authority. What we're loyal to, who we're loyal to, our own inner power, our own inner authority. So reflecting and reconnecting with those things. So then as it moves into Cancer, the shift the focus kind of shifts from our own inner authority into reflecting on the difference between an emotional reaction that we have to an event that may have happened in the past and our intuition. So reflecting on our intuition, reflecting on our emotional reactions, and reflecting on being able to know the difference between the two. And healing, reflecting on the healing that's possible through understanding where care is needed in our lives. So, like, where do we need to tend to something in our lives? Where do we particularly need to care for ourselves in our lives? Again, that's kind of related to recognizing a specific thing within ourselves, but where do we need to give ourselves something that we need to, like, in essence, mother ourselves? Or what in our home needs tending to. Now, this is not necessarily a great time to start new projects, but it is a time to return to projects that we had previously started and then may have put on the back burner. So returning to those things. Mercury retrograde is not a time of like not getting anything done. It is a time of getting things done, but it's not necessarily a great time to start new things. So return to the things that you had previously started and maybe set aside for a while. And to do so after you've reflected on all of these things. So, there you have it. It's pretty simple. Like, Mercury retrograde is not a scary thing. Granted, a lot of things are coming up, a lot of emotions are coming up, a lot of frustration is coming up, but it's all coming up to be healed. It's all coming up so that we can reflect on it because there's information in it for us. All right, so I am in the process of recording a meditation for this particular Mercury retrograde. And I will, once it's up, I will let you all know about it. I'll probably put a link here in this video. I may or may not do another video on it. We'll see. Maybe it'll just be an additional post or something. Or maybe it'll be a video. Who knows, right? Who knows? But either way, I'll at least put a link here in this video. So the meditation will be available for purchase for just a small amount. And I'm hoping that that will be something that's very helpful to people in working through this particular Mercury retrograde. Okay, see you guys.